Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Andrew Casey, CFO of WalkMe, to discuss the company's role in digital transformation and how a digital adoption platform can help with the phenomenon of the Great Resignation. Andrew, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks, Jill. Appreciate the time and the opportunity to talk about WalkMe.
And before we dig into some of WalkMe's most recent announcements in digital transformation, introduce our audience to WalkMe.
WalkMe is a brand new category of technology that really addresses a key secular problem that many large enterprises are having today, is they implement more and more software technologies to drive business process automation, improvements, employee productivity, or just trying to reach their customers in a more effective way. What they're finding is that although that software often has great features and functions and capabilities to go drive those changes, the key element that's lacking is user adoption of those capabilities and understanding about how the core business processes that are profiled through those applications can really be realized. So think about it in terms of you're implementing a whole new HCM solution to drive better employee engagement. But if your employees actually don't understand how to adopt the process you're putting through those applications, you tend not to actually realize the benefits from the application that you ascertained from the beginning. So it's really about addressing a space that we call digital adoption, but it's about the human element and the interactions with software to really drive the outcomes that enterprises bought software for in the first place.
Who are some of WalkMe's customers?
So WalkMe's customers are that Global 2000, Fortune 500 that have typically a number of different employees, vast organizations, and that they're trying to go drive automation through software. That's what, those are the customers that get the largest benefits from implementing WalkMe and see the biggest ROIs. Is they're trying to drive, let's say, a better customer engagement. So they're trying to improve the processes that their service desks are managing call centers. They're trying to make sure that their employees are navigating their sales applications in an effective way, or just trying to automate general process management that tends to go across organizations and cross applications. So those companies are increasingly looking at software to go drive those improvements. And WalkMe is that key element to, if you will, build the last mile of the human adoption of those key processes and the key functions within the software.
Last week, WalkMe held its second earnings call since going public this summer. At the same time, you also announced 2 strategic partnerships. Tell us about that.
So one of the things that as we were going through the IPO process a few quarters ago, we talked about a number of core drivers of our revenue. And the building out of our ecosystem via our partners was a key lever we were working on. And you can understand that WalkMe's business today is very much a direct relationship between our sales reps and the end customer. But that gives us only so much reach. And partnerships with Deloitte and SAP Concur, they're now the recognition that so much of what WalkMe does really drives that digital transformation, that change management that's necessary. And Deloitte is a great partner for many large enterprises at really focusing on driving digital transformation. And as they use WalkMe, they're driving a much more efficient way of delivering their services and getting to the business outcomes that their customers expect. So for us, and for them, it's a great win-win solution where WalkMe is getting more presence with the large enterprise clients. We're building an ecosystem of people who can deliver the WalkMe service and understand the process management criteria. And they have their best practices as well throughout each of their services towers. And that now is going to be enhanced by using WalkMe. So the big change for Deloitte was WalkMe used to be a very opportunistic solution sale that they may do with specific clients. Now WalkMe is the practice. They're dedicating resources to go learn WalkMe, develop business process capabilities through applications, and it's becoming more and more a key element of them delivering their services. On the SAP Concur side, SAP was formerly and is a client of WalkMe to try and drive better adoption of the Concur application. But what they were increasingly realizing is that customers, although they liked the basic out-of-the-box solution that a WalkMe Concur combination could have, increasingly they were hearing from customers that it wasn't about the standard implementation Concur, but rather taking their business practice, their expense policy, and pushing it through the Concur application. And WalkMe is ideally suited to go drive that. Think about the variances that different companies may have in their expense policies. That has to show up in the Concur application for them to drive business process efficiencies.
So we're learning more about the role that WalkMe plays in digital transformation. Tell us more about that. And then how do you see WalkMe helping both the CIO and employees?
Well, I'll take that last part first. WalkMe's got this, is a very unique solution that has both guidance and user experience on one side, trying to provide employees with the best software experience to get things done in the applications. But it gives the CIO and the chief digital officer the cockpit or the core dashboard of really understanding how those user interactions happen. So you can imagine that when a new application is put into an enterprise, or they're moving from one application to another, they start off with trying to understand the as-is process and what is the to-be process. Well, very often, if you have issues with adoption, you never really understand where that process breakdown is happening. For the CIO and the chief digital officer, WalkMe provides that instrument panel to understand at the clickstream level, at the business process level, where users may be having difficulties, and then re-architect the guidance to those users to provide the right user experiences and complete the processes. So think of it as a platform for which you can drive continuous business process improvement through the applications that you've deployed. So for users, great experiences. For CIOs, understanding the interactions and driving real ROI associated with the software that you implemented.
Right, and I think this is interesting. A digital platform adoption can help with the Great Resignation phenomenon. Tell us more about that.
So look, you think about it at its very base level, onboarding, offboarding, those are transactions. In many cases, they're very complex transactions that involve lots of different departments, lots of different applications. Think about it in terms of a new employee that starts for the first time. They get access to their computer, it gets mailed to them often these days. They get access to specific applications. There's core elements of understanding and training that has to happen. All those steps can be optimized in a very workflow organized structure through WalkMe. And one of the reasons is because WalkMe is so extensible across all the different applications that may be required that really unifies that business process. And not through complex APIs, not through complex interactions or connectors, but rather because WalkMe understands the underlying UI of the application. We understand that the UI of Salesforce, the UI of Workday, the UI of ServiceNow, all those elements are, when you break them down to their common object model level, we can understand it and it becomes very extensible. That means the business process can be unified in a very seamless way. Now, the offboarding process can be similarly challenging, where you've got to make sure that as your users are leaving a company, that they've got their payroll updated, that they've got their addresses updated, that they've got your deprovisioning those applications and security access. So from a compliance perspective at the CFO level, or even the chief security officer level, or the CIO, suddenly you've got this onboarding, offboarding process that touches many, many different departments, and WalkMe can help unify that exercise, that whole business process as well. So, the Great Resignation causes a little bit of, at the leadership of all those issues of trying to get the right talent in and making sure that you're keeping and retaining your top talent. Well, WalkMe can even help with that through your employee engagement application. So what we think about is, hey, it's a simple onboarding, offboarding process, has tentacles into many, many aspects of how a business operates, especially one that depends upon its key resources, its employees.
And Andrew, in the last minute here, tell us what's next for WalkMe.
For WalkMe for us, we think we have a great technology position in the marketplace. We think that we're on the cusp of it being really recognized as a key element of digital transformation. And for us, it's kind of executing on our continuing roadmap. We're a technology first company that's really rolling out a whole new area and discipline. And I think that if we're successful, you'll start to see more and more CIOs recognize that a digital adoption platform is necessary for them to achieve their business outcomes. And if we execute on that and we continue to focus on those commercial enterprise, large enterprise clients and solving their problems, I think that we'll enjoy continued success.
All right, Andrew, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you very much for your time.